Today we want to talk about a Mzungu called Paige Elenson. Now you may have never have heard about her. So let me tell you who she is. She's a Mzungu living in Kenya, and she's the founder of something called, I think, Africa Yoga Project, and in which she purports to train Africans to become yoga teachers and to go out and teach the rich coconuts yoga. So basically it sounds innocent enough, it doesn't sound like a bad thing, but we want to examine this entire Mzungu savior complex that they have. But we really don't want to examine them. We want to examine you as Kenyans, because you too have a Mzungu savior complex. And the first thing we can say is that both groups get it from the European Christianity. Now, in European Christianity, everyone is a European. God is a European. All the angels are Europeans. All the saints are Europeans. All the representatives of God are European. There is no room for the African. In other words, for you as an African to enter the European heaven, you must first get permission of Europeans. For you to become a saint in the European church, the Europeans must first give you permission to become a saint. That's why there is no Saint Onyango, there is no Saint Kamau. Africans don't get to be saints. Only the Mzungu gets to be a saint. So these are the rules of European Christianity, of which many of you subscribe to. So within this construct of the divinity of the Mzungu, so the Mzungu becomes the savior. You go into church, any church, you'll find a statue or a painting of a European that you'll be told that this is the savior, this is your savior, that unless he approves, you're going straight to hell, and he's a Mzungu. So again, you're totally dominated, not only in this life, but also in the next life. They will continue being supreme in all lives. So that is the religious reality of Kenya. Now, what does that do to the Mzungu? It makes the Mzungu think that they are God, right? Because you worship them literally as God. So what does that do to the African when you're surrounded by images of European divinity? Well, it makes you a supplicant. It makes you dependent. It makes you look upon the Mzungu as your savior. And so the Mzungu comes to Africa believing that they are a minor god. And when you encounter them, you also believe that they are a minor god. So this very unequal relationship happens automatically, coming down from the European Christianity in Kenya. Now, so this Paige comes to Kenya, and she immediately sees an opportunity, because she sees that she's regarded as a god here, and in her country she's a nobody, but in Kenya she's a god, right? So immediately she puts two and two together, and she's like, I like this place. I am not leaving this place. Can you imagine what kind of ego boost these Mzungus get when they encounter you and your slave mind? So she's like, I'm not leaving Kenya. Now, because she wants to continue being worshipped, but she needs money to live in Kenya. So she comes up with an NGO. They always do. And the basic function of the NGO is to start something that, like, you're helping these poor people, and then you ask for donations from your country, right? That's usually the way it works, and people send a lot of money, and she's made quite a bit of money from doing this. So she decides that because she likes yoga, she's going to train all you Africans to also like yoga, right? So anyway, she starts the NGO. she is dabbling in this and that, always hanging out in the slums where the most poorest and most vulnerable people are, and where no questions are asked and there's no oversight, because as you very well know, the government doesn't care about the poor people at all. And so she does her thing, and the NGO is growing and everything is okay for her. Now one day, after a while, well, some people start to accuse her of some things, very nasty things. Now these are allegations, and I'm going to report them as allegations. And one of the allegations that are coming up is that she's a pedophile. Her accusers are saying that she has been raping underage boys. Yeah, that's the accusation. They're also accusing her of many other things, of, misusing donated money, living a lavish lifestyle, but we don't care about that. We only care about the accusation that she's raping underage boys. And that concerns me. And what is sad is that the government hasn't intervened at all to look at these accusations, whether it's true or not. Is it true? It's more likely than not that it would be true, because one of the things that attracts these people to countries like Kenya, these are the people who are really attracted to come to Africa and pretend that they're helping the poor, are the most mentally deranged people coming from the West, and they discover that in Africa they have absolute autonomy, total freedom to do anything with no consequence, because they know they know that the African man, and the Kenyan man in particular, is weak, is a coward, will never stand up for himself or his children. And it doesn't matter what role the Kenyan man plays. It doesn't matter whether he's the head of the police or the head of it makes no difference. He will not stand up to defend himself or his children from any foreigner, because the foreigner is God, is the representative of God on earth. And many of these very mentally deranged Mzungus, they come to places like Kenya because they know that they will be worshipped as God, right? That's what the population has been trained. And so here we have Paige doing very suspicious activities with children, and bringing over even more Mzungus, and all these Mzungus have direct access to children with no supervision whatsoever. They have direct access to our children. Why? Because the government allows it. The government never defends the children. So all these people, all these demented people have access to our children. And for me, that's unacceptable. Why do they have access to our children? I cannot go to a foreign country, a Mzungu country, and go straight and have access to hundreds of children. You just can't show up and set up a daycare center in their country, because they'll do a background check on you. You have to get licenses, you have to get permissions before you set up anything. But in the case of Kenya, in the case of coconut-run Kenya, we have to say that it's a coconut-run country. The Mzungu is able to come and open up an organization and receive hundreds of children with no oversight, no background check. You don't know whether someone escaped from a mental institution. You don't know whether they're a criminal. No background. The fact that they're a Mzungu, they become God to you. So this is extremely irresponsible on the part of the government. And just think how many governments there are. There's the national government, it does nothing. And there's the local government, the county government, does nothing. Dereliction of duty. Because it's a Mzungu, mumeachilia watu sana. That's how our kids are really being affected by whatever the hell they're doing. And the other problem that I have with all this is that this is a Mzungu purporting to train Africans on yoga. Now, automatically, to the Africans who are being trained, they immediately begin to believe that yoga is from the Mzungu. Yet, in truth, yoga itself is from Africa. As far as what? 2000 BC. When you look at the walls of Kemet, you immediately see yoga. It came from Africa, and then somehow ended up in India, and then somehow ended up in the West. Now they're back to teach us what was originally ours and claim credit that the ones who came up with it. And so the process of mental brainwashing continues, so that all these Africans don't know that you're being taught what you came up with, and someone else is claiming credit for it. It's ridiculous. So basically, we are calling upon the government to investigate the claims, the allegations made against this Paige Elenson with regard to the pedophile accusations, which are very serious. We're also hoping that the child protection services, and we do have child protection officers, should also look into these allegations. And you get so shocked that you have an entire machinery of government and none of it works. From the top to the bottom, none of it works. At Juni Mzungu. So we really need to get over the idea that the Mzungu is divine. But that will never happen as long as churches lie to the people and tell the people that the Mzungu is God, the angels, the saints, and the prophets, which is absolutely outrageous. Going through her website of that organization, I mean, it was very disturbing, some of the things that they have put up, and it goes to show the level of contempt that they have for us. So the racism, and for most of you Kenyans, you don't seem to realize who these people are. Let me tell you who these people are. These are people, these Mzungus that you see smiling at you, these are people, if you're living in their country and they see you in their estate, they'll call the police on you. These are people, when you're walking along the street and they see you approaching, they immediately cross the street. These are people, if you sit next to them in a bus or on the train, they stand up and they walk away. They cannot stand to be close to you. But here in Kenya, you seem to imagine that they are your friend. No one is your friend. No one likes you. And when you look at their website, you'll see all the racism. As a Kenyan, I don't blame you. You may not know how their hatred for us manifests. But for those who have lived with them and have more experience, they immediately know the code words that they use. And one of the things that you can read on their website, and I've put up the picture, you can read it for yourself. You can see one of the participants says that, I am falling in love with this place, these people. See, the code for these people, you may not know it, but that's extremely hostile. When they call us these people or those people, okay, it means something. Basically, she's saying, when she says these people, she means the N word. She means these niggers. That's what these people means. It's a code word. So that's what they talk about us. And when you read down, it's even more disturbing, because she's saying that her entire experience in Kenya was to go to a village and to jump in poop, in excrement. That's what they do in the village. They jump in excrement. Read it for yourself. I'm not making anything up. Read it. That's what the Mzungu is saying. So that is the contempt they have for us. And when you look at this video clip, look at the attitude that this Mzungu has.
How it feels, Baron?
Feels good. Oh, Africa. Africa.
When he says, oh, this is Africa, they otherize us. I know you may not even know what that means, but they otherize us. It's a way of demonizing people. It's a way of them saying how superior they are. And you guys play along. You have to stop playing along. This has gone on long enough. It's time to grow up. We are calling upon the people to grow up. These foreigners are not your friends. They don't like you. They most certainly don't love you. If you don't believe me, go and live with them in their country. Then you'll know. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Kenya's time has come. Our time has come. Your time has come. A time to succeed and not fail. A time to grow wealth and not poverty. A time to go up and not down. It's time for you to stop walking and drive your car. Stop renting and buy yourself a house. It's your time to get blessed. Join the CCV movement and together let us kick poverty and unemployment out of Kenya. Become a member today. Donate what you can. And remember that the CCV is the only political organization in Kenya that is squarely built upon Christian values, unlike the rest. We'll see you next time. Thank you.